audio is a little too loud. I'm just gonna lower that a smidgen. Alright, good evening everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV once again. I am excited to continue the story because I am way behind and we have the normal raids are actually already out and I'm actually still on the main MSQ. So if you're joining us live, be warned, there are a lot of spoilers ahead for the end game, for the end of Dawntrail. And right now we're in the area called the Heritage, in a little town called the Outskirts. With some very interesting things happening. Now, let's talk to the working resident over here. An old woman named Namika. I'm afraid I don't know that person. I'm sorry I couldn't be of help. So, to give a quick recap, for those who have been actually following us, Diplomat's nursemaid, Namika, was in this town. And for some reason, after her death, nobody can remember her. And now we're trying to find out why this happened or whether people can actually remember her. But there is definitely something very sinister going on around here. With souls and memories and how people can be stored inside vessels. In the meantime, enjoy the good music. Preoccupied resident. What's that? Do I know a Namika? Never met anyone by the name, and I've worked at the outskirts for a good while now. If you'd spend time here, I would remember. Yeah, so none of the residents here are remembering Namika, even though, story-wise, we just met her like a few moments ago. We just met her and we saw her being taken away to what is called a medical facility, because I am putting that in air quotations because we need to see it to believe it. I do recall caring for someone until recently, and you said that it was a woman named Namika? Well, I can't say for certain if it was her. I wouldn't worry. I'm sure she's just been taken up to the cloud. Yeah, the phrasing here is that after death, I'm just guessing here, but somehow they've been converted into data and stored in the clouds, and because everyone is connected this weird device on their heads, the collective memory of everyone has been replaced at the same time, so that no one would mourn the loss of anyone. And yeah, back to the square where we meet up again, and where we have someone spinning on a giant turtle, a giant mechanical turtle. Alright, I forgot to change this back to English. I am sorry for everyone. I usually play on Japanese, but I stream on English. I'll change the voiceovers to English after this cutscene. So it was the same for everyone. Nope. It was indeed. Not a single person remembers Namika. It's as if the memory of her has been purged from their minds. Well, such a thing might be done with magic. To alter the memories of so many at once would be a tremendous undertaking. We would have felt a surge of ether corresponding to the act too, and I sensed none in that moment. And neither did I, but I did notice something else. Right before Pepperoni seemingly forgot, a light in the device on his head began to blink. Could there be a connection? Someone also said something about soul cells. But who might we ask about this? If we continued making such inquiries, I expect we would only cause confusion. Indeed, if we can't readily solve the mystery about Namika, perhaps we could search for Kakiha instead. Being said to try the Thunder Guards. It should be in this direction. Yeah, Kakiha being Arendville's mother. What is that robot who's looking at us? Impossible. What? Okay. What an interesting design. It almost seems like the little screen is Like it's targeting the camera, so no matter where you look, you'll actually see the screen. Another kind of mechanical soldier? It looks dangerous. We better destroy it. It looks oh, okay, so it's not actually looking at the camera. If anything, it looks kind of weird and cute, I guess. Should we give chase? I think it understood our words. It might be worth asking it some questions. Aaronville, are you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost. It's nothing. I'm fine. Well, it went off in that direction we're heading anyway, so let's try to track it down. Alright, if in any case, you know what, let me check, because I've actually gotten a message saying that our Twitch notifications are still saying ZZZ, which is not the case, and I feel like will be very misleading for anyone who's coming here expecting ZZZ. Also, a good evening, Ufaz. I thought you were off doing your social thing. You might see some weirdness as I toggle through things. Just give me a second so that I can check whether we're in the right game category. Why are you working on? Aren't your gatherers already 100? I'm not sure why they think it's... No, it's showing ZZZ. It's definitely not. Oh, it might be the go live notifications, which we probably have to adjust. So where am I going here? Except Fisher, huh? Oh yeah, okay, you're getting ready for Savage by getting your crafters ready, so you can sell them stuff, huh? I'm so surprised when people say that they have trouble leveling Fisher, because I feel like I always over-level Fisher with patience. It's faster than it looks. Bro. I did not see it. Well, it's probably ran away from us at very high speeds. No sign of it over here. Oh, okay, you haven't even touched Fisher. I don't know. That voice, could it be? I get the distinct feeling that maybe that robot was sent by Aaronville's mother. I guess we'll find out. There it goes. Or is stumbling about for some reason. This has definitely got to be a minion somewhere, right? You found it? It was heading off in that direction. Wherever that is. Into the cave, I guess. To the northeast? Then this must be bound for the mines. Come on then. It could well be a trap, so let's not rush in too quickly. Says everyone as they carefully walk off stream. Alright, before I forget, let's change the language to English. Oh, it's definitely heading into the caves over there. The stones in those crates, could it be turquoise? I think it's safe to assume it went to the mines. An old coal mine? It appears to have long since been abandoned, like so many other places. So it went in there? I heard faint voices coming from inside. So it's not alone, we're still going on, of course. This may be a trap. Be ready for a fight, everyone. I sincerely doubt it is a trap. This might actually be one of the people who are actually very straightforward with us around here, because everything has been really weird. Oh, and I completely forgot to actually take any of the ether on this map, since I've been sort of semi-rushing the MSQ, because the raids are out. At least they gave us a freebie with the story. Stuck Grahar again. It would appear no one has worked in these tunnels in quite some time. I'm not worried, we had to improvise countless times after all. A device making electrode. It seems to be the only one here. The tunnel just keeps going. I can hear them. Several people up ahead. I can't make out the conversation with the echo. Let's keep going. Stay on your guard. I hope so. I need to finish it at least to get this week's loot right. Well, this is probably the rebel faction in this area. The people who didn't put on the little device on their heads. Floating TV screen.
What is this?
It's a floating TV screen.
Aaronville!
Yeah, none of them have the device on their head.
A trap!
And then someone who Aaronville knows is gonna pop out.
It really is you!
Or is the robot his mother?
Huh?
Well, General Hellcat moment.
I just have to get a look at you in the light. And I can still hardly believe my eyes. But it is you, my darling Olympia!
Oh my god, that voice.
My darling, what now?
Hilarious.
Oh, it's so good to see you, my fussy little bun bun. But what are you doing here? What brings you all this way?
Oh, fussy little bun, huh, Aaronville? I have to take this. I have to take this. Fussy little bun.
Why the long face? Aren't you happy to see me after all this time?
I don't think he recognizes you.
I know that laugh anywhere. Mother?
Wait. Since when was your mother a weird floating thing?
What Wuklaban said, Mufaz.
And what have we here? Say, aren't you Galoo Jaja's kitten?
The little Jaja's kitten.
I knew I recognized that adorable fuzzy face. Ella Nespia was always so excited whenever you invited him over to play. You remember me, I hope.
I can't say that I do, but you know my father?
Appearances notwithstanding, it would seem this is my mother, Kafkiwa.
Kafkiwa.
I'm sorry?
Oh, this won't do. Come in, come in! Friends of my Ella Nespia are always welcome.
All I ask is a little forewarning, but no.
So is this what becomes of people who are uploaded to the cloud?
Just when I thought I was starting to get a handle on this place, how are things still getting stranger?
The club. No, I think you misunderstand me, Faz. I didn't say it in a tone of affection. I was saying it in a tone of surprise. Or in the words of the younger people, slightly cringe, so to speak. The Elegans had machines that could be controlled remotely. She's using something similar to communicate with us. At this point, I doubt anything could possibly surprise me. Aaron's mother is a floating machine? Right. That makes about as much sense as anything else thus far. Okay, let's see. What is this music? I feel like there's something really familiar in it. Let's continue. I can't say I understand what's going on, but at least Kakia is safe. Wayakwe. Oh, hello. Okay. Hello to you too. I guess I need to continue with Darrenville. As far as I can tell, this is indeed my mother. I can think of few people in the world quite so spirited. But as to what has happened, we'll need to ask her. Darrenville is conflicted by this long faded reunion. I'm gonna switch back to Paladin. Just so that I am on the cusp of 99 and not underleveled. Let's hear what she has to say. It's so wonderful to meet you all. And the students of Baldessian. It's been a while since I heard that name. Dare I ask the reason for your appearance? Oh, this? It's just a body that I control remotely. I use this for operations. Oh, okay. We're members of a resistance organization. Oblivion, we call ourselves, and our goal is to thwart Zoralja's ambitions for conquest. As the leader, it's prudent that I remain in where I can't be easily found. I see. Whimsical appearances with stand-ins, yours is a serious case. Right, you are. The truth be told, Oblivion was founded for an altogether different purpose. And that is... As I expect you've already noticed, everything you see within this dome, the buildings, the people, the very earth beneath our feet, is a fusion of two worlds. Stopping such a fusion was Oblivion's original mission. Then, Does that mean you know who or what is responsible for it? I'm afraid not. This was a long time ago, and our mission statement has become more of a legend that's passed down to members. By the time we joined, our sole objective was stopping Sir Olja. But we failed to do that, and now he's taken his army inside the dome. None of you wear those strange devices on your heads. Does that have something to do with your work? You mean this? It's a regulator, the pinnacle of electrode technology. And that we don't wear it is indeed related to our operations. What exactly does it do? Allow me to explain. Regulators have two primary functions. The first, as the name suggests, is the regulation of the wearer's reserve of souls. Should they die, the regulator expends a soul to bring them back to life. Reserve? You mean people walk around carrying spare souls? They do. Souls are packed in cells and then can be used to replenish the life force that is lost due to sudden death, such as in accidents. They do nothing for those who die of old age, though. Distribution of souls is based on one's work evaluation to encourage exemplary performance when fulfilling their duties. Well, yeah, it's a different person, and he had a deeper voice. Souls as a common resource in payments for services rendered. I feel like, this was somewhat obvious, so I'm not sure why they're treating it like we haven't seen this all this time. The voids and practice of consuming others for their ether comes to mind, and similarly I expect that the act comes with some risk. Yeah, like turning into monsters, or fusing with them. Oh, personalities get mishmashed, is that it? Because you're inputting another soul into yourself, you lose your sense of self. Doesn't it dilute your self-consciousness? Consciousness. Oh, you know what? I forgot what I said. That is prevented through memory management, a process in which regulators also play a role. Memory management? Then the reason everyone has forgotten Namika's existence. Right, because they've forgotten their sense of self can't be overwritten by another personality. The regulators are constantly recording the memories of their wearer, so if they should suddenly die, their memories can be refreshed as part of the restoration process. This is how they preserve one's identity and sense of self. However, the regulators are also triggered when someone else dies. Reason being is that the regulators forcibly extract memories relating to the deceased from anyone wearing one. Oh. Why would they do such a thing? It's a kindness bestowed upon the people by Everkeep's core system, so that no one has to suffer the pain of loss. So this is what is meant by their memories being on the cloud. Indeed, all memories of the deceased are wiped from the minds of the people and archived in the system. It's a frightening function of the regulators and an integral step in soul cell production. Because the people who die are the ones being actually used as reserves, correct? Oh. Okay, thank you for the illustration. You see, when a person dies of natural causes, their soul is temporarily housed within the regulator. Yeah, that makes sense. And it's uploaded to the cloud. And then when a If you only need a spare, it is then delivered to a facility where memories are separated from the soul. Yeah, we've seen this happen during the incident in Tibiolo. And you have only the memories left of the soul. The result is a fresh soul, free of impurities, ready for distribution and consumption. See, that is a very dark take on the Yakuis. Everyone will live in this world by remembering. They can't live in you if you don't remember them. Meanwhile, the memories are stored in the core system to be remembered forever. And this is why people are happy here. On its surface, it's similar to the Yaku philosophy, but I see nothing noble or comforting in it. Well, it doesn't seem so terrible to me personally. It all comes down to what you're used to, I suppose. Like the barrier encasing Alexandria, we've heard Alexandria for a while, and if they're gonna show us FF9's town. Anyway, this system was created to overcome the calamity that transformed the world hundreds of years ago. Amidst the mounting death toll, scientists used Electro, the device made to save what lives they could so that the nation could endure. Was born out of necessity. Understand the people of Alexandria did what they believed was best to save their people. I just find it hard to believe that Turali would also accept this way of living. Probably because they didn't know and doesn't even realize when a person dies. It came as a shock to us as well. In fact, a great many were opposed to it. Okay, maybe they accepted it. Which is why the use of regulators was never compulsory. The people have always been free to go without them if they so wish. Speed didn't strike me as a sort of ruler to impose her will on others. Ah, so you've already met. She's the one who suggested we come to the Thunder Yards in the first place. She also said she wants to help us stop Azaraljar. Awfully kind of her to point you in my direction and to speak so candidly as well. Almost like she was using us to track you down, huh? Whatever her motive, she has given the people a choice: live with the risk of true death or the security of the regulators. Everything that lives must someday die. That is the natural order of things. Quite right, but however you feel about them, it would be easier to understand what the regulators are capable of if you saw it for yourself. I know just the person to show you, and as luck would have it, they should be starting work right about now. Who are we going to see exactly? Come with me and you'll find out. Actually interrupted by the Final Fantasy, I know you guys like your little tones, but sometimes you just gotta let the moment sink in with the silence. Took care not to get struck by lightning out there. One fella reckoned you could dodge them by jumping back the instant there's a flash, but that's crazy if you ask me. Okay, I feel like Tidus would disagree with this in Final Fantasy X. Firearms make the most sense for people who don't have combat training like us. That's why we salvage as many as we can from the mechanical soldiers and convert them for our use. What an interesting name. Nostalgia? There's a geode, a nostalgia, and then a Wayak. Nostalgia is my twin sister. Like most people, we both used to wear regulators, but, well, let's just say a lot has happened. And what? Still some life left of us, okay. It's not something I would like to go through again. I didn't get hit by a lightning strike, but I did get really badly electrocuted once. There was a little storage room which was used by my grandfather. And what he would do was he would put the lights and all the electricity outlets on top of the door still. So when you enter, it would be behind you. But the storage room itself is like very, very dark and I could not see. So one day my grandfather tells me to go get something from in there, and it's raining, and the storage outlet is like right outside this, the room is right out this courtyard where it rains. So I enter the room while I'm wet, and while it's dark, I reach up my hand behind my head and accidentally touch the electric outlet there. And I don't remember what happened next for like a minute or so. Like everyone was saying I was screaming, and I don't even remember screaming. All I could tell you was that day, one entire side of my body was completely numb. I couldn't move at all. That entire side. So, I'd rather not get struck by lightning. To alter the memories of the buffaloes with suspicious nor smoking. What does she intend to show us? We're to see how the regulators work, but how? So those regulators are to blame for forgetting about Monica? Oh wait, let me lower the music a bit because I feel like it's a bit loud. There we go. I'm sorry, but I just can't accept the idea of using souls as a resource. Neither can I say. Everyone here? Good. See, the thing with that is, King. And see, the thing with that is, I understood why it happened. It's just that it's very different to actually experience it as opposed to understanding why it happens. We're to meet an acquaintance of mine, Suika, one of these hunters. Like you might hear a lot of people say they're dizzy, but it's a very different thing to actually be dizzy than to understand dizziness. So why am I walking? Oh, you're an enemy. Okay, fine. Wait, why? Oh, am I missing? Is that what happened? You know what? I think I understand. I actually shifted this over to test something, and I completely forgot that I shifted over the hotbars. Well, in your case, Yufaz, it's like I know you've fallen out of a building 2 times. And I also know you've actually gotten burned and electrocuted a few times as well. What do you think this is in the box? I'm guessing food. Judging by its name, I take it this facility is for gathering lightning energy. So, an electric power plant. Let's get this over with. While I'm not blind to the potential benefits of these regulators, the risk inherent in giving another party the power to control your memories cannot be overstated. Never mind the ethical considerations of using souls in such a fashion. Well, these two are actually debating it. Given the opportunity, I should very much like to study Electrope on behalf of the students. I'm using a leaf. I'm not sure where I got it from, though. Kahokia? Kahokia? What are you doing here? And with so many friends? Strika? What I don't know whether it's Strika or Strika. Apologies for the interruption, but I was hoping they might observe you at work. Hunting, you mean? That's fine, I guess. Hold on. I assumed they were wearing special regulators like Queen Spin's crown, but they weren't wearing anything at all. It's much too dangerous to be here without one. What if we get struck by lightning or attacked by beasts? Oh, so Spin's crown is her regulator. I can assure you they're all quite capable of looking after themselves. If anything should go amiss, I will take full responsibility. Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Danger aside, there isn't really much to see. Kakia said you were a hunter, but wouldn't it be easy for those mechanical soldiers to come this place? It would, if not for the fact they're weak to lightning. The Thunder Yard being what it is, you'd be ordered to clear. Some good they are, huh? But these facilities are vital to the upkeeping of Alexander's infrastructure, so it falls to hunters like me to deal with any fiends. Given the danger, we're well compensated for our work. It's a perfect profession for anyone looking to build up savings. The special selection of souls for hunters isn't terrible either. I bought this lot here to see this danger you speak of. If it's not too much trouble to ask. Alright, take care, King. Or Mufasa in this case. I keep calling you by your in-game name. Oh, of course, in which case it'd be a shame to waste my efforts on just any old beast. You all can handle yourselves in a fight, right? If you cause a ruckus slaying what creatures you see nearby, there's a chance to draw out something worthy of a demonstration. I'm not sure I understand that, but I suppose we should each slay what we can. That seems to be the idea. Cause a ruckus and attract the attention of something nasty. My fussy little bun was never good at fighting. This body of mine isn't suited to it either. Really, this working with capable hands. I'm afraid I must leave the fighting to you. It's fine, I will go. Let me check if there's... Okay. Just clear up the map over here. I think I already took the 8th column in this direction, because it seems to be getting farther and farther away, so yeah, probably. Now this makes for an interesting sight. When you look up and see that structure, I can't even tell if they're multiples of one. Wait, what am I looking? Oh, it's over here. You sense a hostile presence. Nothing's coming out over here. I think she'll be fine. We probably don't have to worry. This one will do nicely. I guess she's trying to show us. Demonstrate. It's fine, really. I face first. Just watch. I don't like the looks of this. Let us help. Oh no. Look out. What? Okay. Oh, is she actually dying on purpose to show us what happens? Well preserved. She needs healing. I love how this almost feels like an auto revive of sorts. Like everyone's walking around with an auto revive item equipped to their head. That was embarrassing. The bastard caught me off guard. Are you mad? Seriously, let us help. I told you not to worry. This will only take a moment. What's she up to? Oh, she transformed. No, this is that berserk mode that everyone goes into. Interesting choice of music, though. I feel like this is what monks wanted in game. Just like Zoralja, among other people. Come on, let's get out of here. And she just walks away. That's also a function of the regulator. I mean, we've seen it happen a few times. The Zoralja and the boss in the dungeon. Vanguard. I think I understand now how Zoralja was able to return from the dead and defeat Papa, but I'm not sure what we saw at the end there. As soon as the regulator turned red, it was as if you were possessed. Your movements became beast-like. Don't tell me. You empowered yourself with the soul of a beast? I'm reminded of the serpentine soldier we encountered in Vanguard who did the same. So, you cross paths with one of the king's elites. Such a form can only be achieved by gorging yourself on souls. We could do the same in theory, but it's incredibly dangerous. Besides, it's not as if they'd allow hunters to carry that many souls to begin with. So they are kinda like You know what? I don't know. So they're kind of like voids. Hey Zane, good evening. And there you have it. Regulators can be loaded with two kinds of souls, those of people and those of beasts. The souls of people can be used to grant the user preternatural strength. Naturally, they can be used to ensure no one suffers an untimely death. And what about the soul of beasts? They work much in the same fashion, imbuing you the strength of the chosen animal. If, for example, you use the soul of a wolf, you would grow more agile and feral, as you saw with Strika. Using several of the same type at once, however, would result in physical changes. Your teeth might become fangs, your nails claws. Too many and you'll become more beast than man. Changing one's form through the souls of other beings. It becomes more and more reminiscent of Void. That's what I said. Yet, unlike the Void, where the cycle of death and rebirth is simply broken, souls here are forcibly taken before they might reach the ethereal sea. Different means to achieve similar ends. A cycle to which all within the dome are bound. This is wrong. This is all wrong. It is indeed hard to accept, being so far removed from our own beliefs. Perhaps more shocking is that the technology to achieve all this was developed hundreds of years ago. The civilizations in the reflections are surprising indeed. Braha is definitely the explainer to our silence. And he is oddly appropriate for the situation, being one of the people who've actually done this on the first. When Emmet spoke of surprising civilization in other reflections, I wonder if he had Alexandria in mind. Having seen the beauty of the ethereal sea firsthand, I simply can't accept what they've done here in Alexandria. I understand this is part of their culture, but it is no less disconcerting. Speaks of lived experience that suggests she is far older than she appears. Considering the power of these regulators, perhaps it's not so far-fetched. I've never seen it for myself, but it's said that if a beast's soul is potent enough, a single soul is enough to induce a monstrous transformation. Well, we all have our thoughts and souls. For now, the important thing is we know what power Zorolja has at his disposal. It's one thing to separate corporeal ether from incorporeal ether, but to strip memories from the soul entirely is unprecedented technology. Yes, that is something that is very new to us. This is no longer only to Leola is concerned. With this newfound power, Zorolja has become a real threat to the entire world. Indeed, he has to be stopped no matter the cost. The Void has been added to the Underne Codex. You know what, I'll read it off stream so that I don't bore anyone. So let me... Okay, we'll probably move from this destination. Got a couple of quests over here that we didn't have before. Regulators give Zorolja a frightful advantage, and that's just one of the devices he's gotten his hands on. If we are to have a chance at defeating him, we have to learn all we can about the technology he has at his disposal. Surprisingly, an in-depth accuracy from Uklamat, which I don't think most people accept from her personality. I understand this is part of their culture, but it is... Okay, you guys have the same dialogue. Kakir? Concerned curiosity, embracing oblivion. I trust you've gained an insight into the use of souls in Alexandria. It's shocking, I know. I was overwhelmed myself at first. I expect you'll find some time to digest it all. But for now, let's head back to Earth and Sky. At this rate, there's something I want to discuss with everyone. Let's take a moment before we head into the tunnel. Let me just pick up the quest here. I'll probably funnel it all into Astro. The withering hunter is sick of waiting around. Fruit and alloy jelly. Rough place for a stroll, ain't it? I'm impressed you made it out this far. If only my trainee had the same grit. The plan was to go on a hunt together, but I haven't seen hide nor hair of her all day. I reckon the lightning got her scared stiff. We're supposed to meet here, so I'd rather not step away if I can help it. Could you swing through the outskirts and look for a fresh-faced hunter quaking in her boots? If I must... So since we're heading southwest, 490 southwest, it's still quite a distance away, but might as well check in case there's one more Aether Current in this side that we missed. Though something tells me it might actually be right behind the structure over there. 166 out, so this outpost. Or maybe not, that's actually pretty close, all things considered. Oh, there we go. Let's board over to town, pick up the quests, and complete the one we have right now. Oh, Cold Servant. It's always fun to do your quest. Let's pick you up. Refined taste. This is the last place you were expecting to find the corn servant. Well, yeah, kind of. My, what a pleasant surprise. I hope you've been well since the appearance of this peculiar place. When first hearing the rumble of a stomach coming from within this dome, I mistook it for the roar of thunder. But sure enough, there was indeed a poor soul in need of my assistance. But that I could make myself seen to them. I can but assume it was fate that guided you here to see them given the help they need and deserve. Please, follow me. I shall take you to them. I somehow found the little break that the corn servant gives. The little jolly sidetrack, I guess, or side quest is a welcome break. Stress testing. Dorian's uncertainty is palpable. Pardon me, adventurer, but might I trouble you to lend me your aid? I found myself in a rather troublesome predicament. Earlier today, we were sent a soldier and asked to test out its improved combat functionality. I asked a hunter to take it out on patrol, but not long afterwards, I lost contact with him completely. I know the signal is weak out there, but I can't help but worry something might have gone terribly wrong. From the look of you, you can handle your fair share of danger, yes? Could you go out to the Tonga yards and see if you can find them for me? That is what I do. Find people, cats, coins, flowers, dead bodies, you name it. Nakente. Auntie knows best. Nakente is fretting over her young charge, as she is wont to do. Oh, Shalom, what am I going to do with you? I keep telling you to take a hunter with you when you leave town. You should be using an old one. Well, if it isn't Her Majesty's guest, did you enjoy your tour of UPS Hollow? I was told you even helped set the water distribution system to rights. You know, I could really use someone with your talents right about now. The woman in charge of that very farm just left for the wilderness without a bodyguard. Seems to me she's investigating something, but that's no reason to put herself in danger. Last I heard, she was seen walking up the hill to the east on the farm. Could you go and make sure she's alright? Oh, what a relief. You're looking for a young Shatona by the name of Shaloaki. Shaloaki? Now off you go, and thank you, dear. Shaloaki. Things considered, not too bad a name, considering the names and places. The names, places, and people have in this expansion. Trainee Hunter. Can I help you? I was asked by your charge to lead you back. Mentor asked you to come find me. Oh no, well, I'm not proud to admit this, but that lightning is making me weak in the knees, and not in a good way. This is rather embarrassing having only I just met, but it always helped to settle my nerves when the other hunters would cheer me on. Might I ask you to do the same? Okay. Let me put that one. What was that quest again? Fear, lightning, thunder, earthquake. Thanks. That helps a little. I think I'm feeling brave enough to finally set foot out there. But if you should start noticing me starting to lose my nerve, I hope you'll be there to cheer me on again. But do I have to? I'll probably have to escort her all the way, I guess. There's another quest over here. We find this. Oh, it's the corn servant quest. One of my friends was just assigned the role of a hunter. Okay, I think we see our target. A hungry Milala. This Milala exceeds overconfidence, perhaps to mask what ails his grumbling stomach. Try the vegetables from the outskirts, they said. Ah, you could stand to eat this, Will. I can't do it. I won't. A man of Everkeep's deserves better than this. With the perfectly manufactured rations of the production facility full to bursting with nutrients, I could easily work for days with little rest. But this? I'd sooner starve myself until my work is done. Oh, I see. So, people from the Everkeep eat rations, while people from Tural, who've integrated here, rely on vegetables and the stuff which is grown. A rather sophisticated palate, it would seem. Perhaps if I take a generous helping of my kernels, apply a little heat, and there, let's see what he thinks of my popcorn. How about some popcorn? What in blazes is this? It is absolutely delicious. Light and fluffy, yet also crunchy and perfectly salted. I've never seen such a thing in Solution 9. And you say this was made from a vegetable? It would appear the plants grown down here are not to be underestimated. I believe I owe the farmers an apology. Ha ha ha! The popcorn was a rousing success. He convinced himself that food should simply be taken as they are, never realizing they can become so much more given the right preparation. It was heartening to see something so simple as popped kernels could give him a newfound appreciation for food. And with that, I believe our work here is done. I can scarcely imagine where my search for bellies in need of nourishment will take me next. Wherever that may be, I should be glad to see you there. Safe travels, my friend. And as always, he gave me to Raleigh-Cone. I know it's appropriate, but it's also kind of weird for a walking corn to give me corn each time. Where is he getting them from? West, 100 yards. It is a very aesthetically pleasing zone. Though I get the feeling it might change by the time we're done with MSQ. Yeah, at least the music will remain. Where exactly am I going anyways? Oh, I'm I need to get up there. Trainee Hunter. Looks like I need to cheer you on some more. Thanks? Look, can I ask you something? How are you not terrified of the pylons? I know they function as relay points for the energy gathered out here, but they quite literally attract lightning. Every strike is like an explosion, rattling me to the bone. I hate it. Still, it's not much safer standing around here, so I may as well keep going. If I stop again, I need you to really psych me up, okay? It almost feels like we're encouraging a Riku on the Thunder Plains. Almost. And I like that they referenced the whole lightning dodge thing. Yeah, I mean, you know what, I didn't say it on stream at that moment, but it did occur, the same thought went through my mind. I was like, yeah, corn is a vegetable, right? You would definitely classify it as such. I can't take this anymore, I want to go home. Parallel, okay, yeah, psych you up. I know it may not seem like it, but your moral support is a tremendous help right now, sir. I'm so close to the rendezvous point, but the roar of lightning really isn't helping my nerves. Maybe I'll pretend it's an asteroidia? Asteroidia. I'm pretty sure that, you know what, never mind. I'm not sure whether it's the way the guys here over say it, but it's pretty much an asteroid. Yes, just a big bloodthirsty asteroidia. They can't have made the same mistake twice, so... Someone gathering over there. Now, I bet a lot of people are gonna make like rain plus thunder tracks of this area. Ill-fated hunter. I was expecting one more enemy. You saved my life. For a moment there, I thought I'd have to use my regulator. Now, I somehow doubt an adventurer like you just so happened to be passing through. That researcher sent you to find me, didn't he? I'd better head back to explain what happened. You may as well come and join me. I'm sure he'll want to know you're safe. I think he's more worried about me than you. It's super defective. Is someone farming fates out here? By themselves? Or is it... Okay. It's actually someone activated the fate and left, huh? Okay, fine. Here, have a heal. They are pretty strong, so I doubt I'll be able to AoE too many of them. But let's bring out Rungnir for some help. I think I can take 3 safely. Okay, not what I intended to put. Alright, ranged enemies. Need to get closer. Where did the noise hunter go? Why is he attracting so much attention? Trying to avoid getting the guy killed and he's just running into the middle of it. Now I'm about to die. Got company. Better heal myself up. I could defeat just 2, it ought to be enough. Since we're in the middle of it, keep attracting more attention. More than is absolutely necessary for this. Can you stop being a nuisance? Not like that. You just went into the thick of things. You could have had so much an easier time. I had to dodge some lightning bolts, but I made it. Thank you for giving me the push I needed. My trainee here told me the whole story. You laid off a proper fire in her belly, eh? To your credit, she did well on the hunter's exam, and I reckon she's got promise. Not like she's the only one who's nervous about the lightning here, anyhow. Besides, your words of encouragement seem to have struck a chord with her, so I'll have faith she'll overcome it in time. Now, if you'll excuse us, we got some monsters, so take care. Yeah, that's one quest down. The one over here. With Shalom. Gods be good. That was the last of my soul cells. I could have really died there. Thanks for your help, by the way. So, what brings you out here to the middle of nowhere? Your grandmother, auntie, I know what, I don't know, but somebody asked you. Auntie Nakante, there we go. Auntie Nakante sent you after me? That makes 2 people who just saved my life then. Would you mind coming with me to see her? I want her to know I'm safe. And grateful besides. I'm not sure whether usually the zone's ether core quests tend to coalesce at the end. I don't think it might be this one though. We'll see, I guess. Dorian? The hunter told me everything. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for taking swift action. These soldiers required energy gathered from lightning, and yet lightning also proves to be their weakness. Apparently, it took a nasty jolt in the thunder yards and went berserk. Honestly, why are they tinkering with offensive output when they could be correcting this glaring flaw in the design? Rest assured, the engineer in charge will hear all about this in my report. Sorry for the trouble. I hope this small token will suffice as compensation. Your token of Aether Current is greatly appreciated. Sherlock is getting a chewing out here. But, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, she's definitely getting chewed out over here. Welcome back, dear. I can't thank you enough for rescuing this poor, reckless fool of a girl. You are not a child anymore, Shaola. Act your age. Now what do you say to the kind stranger who saved your life? I know I've already told you once before, but thank you, truly. I'm Shaloaki, and I'm in charge of Yu Peo's Hilo. To tell the truth, I'm still learning how everything works. I used to be the electrical engineer, but for some reason the government reassigned me. And I am Nakante, the farm's coinkeeper, or resident nag, depending on who you ask. Might we get your name, hero? And I'm just Mika. You can call me Mika. Mika rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? That's a name you'd best not forget, Shallow. You'd be dead were it not for him. Now why in the world would you leave the safety of the outskirts all by yourself? You've been acting so strangely of late. It's clear you're hiding something. So what is it? Oh, this is the continuing quest then, I guess. There really is no getting anything past you, is there? Fine, I'll explain. But you have to promise to keep it a secret for now, alright? The truth is, I noticed that the farm's farmers have been shrinking year over year, and I can't for the life of me figure out why. The staff are all doing great work, and as a former engineer I can say for certain that the equipment is all in proper working order. I even checked the pylons and the readout was totally normal. But I know there's a problem, and the longer we wait, the worse it will get. In a few years, the crops may stop growing entirely. Something has to be done. Well, it sounds serious, and I appreciate that you're taking the initiative to solve it. But I'm worried about you, Shallow. I can't have you putting your life in danger. But you can have me escorting her, right? Yeah, I had a feeling. Mika, would you be willing to help her look into the matter? As an outsider, your idea of normal is sure to be different from ours. I reckon a fresh set of eyes will be able to spot something we can't. She's right. I could certainly use an unbiased perspective. Would you please help me? Yeah, sure. I am the guy for the job. Right then. With that settled, I think what you two need now is a good meal. Have a seat and your auntie Nakante will fix you some fresh veggies. Not exactly vegetables, but okay. I'll take the mesquite juice of mesquite beans. Blended with I'm not gonna question it. I'm not gonna question why it sounds eerily close to mosquito juice. Yep, this is the continuing quest. Enjoy the meal. It's traditional Tanawagtan cooking. If you can help Shallow figure out what's ailing the farm, rest assured there's more where they came from. Yes, dirt. Yeah, I figured, like, if you check the equipment and everything, it has to be something with the soil, right? Shaloaki is ready to dig into the mystery. Alright, Mika, time to get started. Yep. Well, I suppose I've already started, but you know what I mean. First thing first, we should have you take a look at the fields and see if you can spot anything that strikes you as unusual. I'll be honest, when I saw that, that was the first thing that popped into my head. Mosquito juice. You go ahead and make ready, Shallow. As Coinkeeper, it would be remiss to overlook the matter of Mika's payment before he leaves. I'll send him along shortly. Okay then, meet me by the bridge just outside of town when you're ready. I feel like Nakante has something to say to me. Yes, Nakante. Forgive me, Mika, but I wasn't entirely honest just now. You will of course be paid for your services, but there's something else I wanted to discuss. I have a personal favor to ask. It concerns Shallow. She was born after the land's fusion, you see, and her parents... Well, none of us can remember... Oh yeah, I mean... that is kind of a terrible thought, that you couldn't remember your parents after they passed away. The townsfolk have all done their best to look after her, but I suspect she may struggle with things she doesn't feel she can talk to us about. A reassignment by the government, for instance. For an outsider like you, however, I suspect she may be more willing to open up. Perhaps you could find a quiet moment during your investigation to talk to her. Oh, sure, why not? Thank you, Mika. Your help is much appreciated. On both counts, of course. Now run along, and don't forget we are to meet up with her at the southern bridge. This isn't too far, all things considered. But before we do that, let me go grab a bottle of water and maybe a cookie. If any of you are still watching, just give me like 5 minutes, I'll be right back. Alright, and back. Yep, I got myself a cookie. It's one of the, not the handmade variety, if you're wondering, just the store-bought variety. And some water. One of the difficult things about playing Final Fantasy on a stream is that you have to voice yourself so much. Eventually, it does get to the throat after a while. Okay, let's stoke the shallow Aki over here. There you are. Auntie really talked your ear off, didn't she? Well, I'll spare you my idle chit-chat. You walk these fields with Her Majesty, right? What was your first impression? Be honest, and don't hold back. Any little critique might help. The location seems less than ideal, so to speak. Oh, I didn't realize that was an issue. But now that I think on it, this place used to get a lot more sunlight in the past. That's why it's called Yasulani after all, where the clouds dry in the Shetona Dunk. Oh, okay. So that's why it was called Yasulani. It's only thanks to the electro technology that the farm has survived this long. Specifically, those pillars at the center of each field, which act as sun lamps. They're true godsend, converting lightning energy not into just water, but also fire to stave off the cold, and earth to replenish the soil. They were the first thing I thought to check, but they're perfectly functional. Okay, so it's not the soil, it's not the heat, it's not the water. Still, you have a point. This isn't exactly primer farmland. Maybe there's an underlying problem with the soil that can't be mitigated without tech. Okay, we're going back to soil now. In that case, I'd say we roll up our sleeves and examine the fields more closely. I'll take the east side, so the west is all yours. Sound good? Sound good. Great, if you spot anything out of the ordinary, just give a shout. Likewise, if I find anything, you'll be sure to hear me. Now let's get to it. Warrior of Light, Soil Inspector is on the job. Well, considering that we checked, like, oil rigs in the previous area, I'm not surprised that we're on soil duty now. Soil. The soil is well drained with just the right amount of moisture and effectively electrical, perhaps. In any case, nothing appears to be wrong. My powers of observation can even tell me that nothing is wrong with the soil. Like, if this was in real life and I took a bunch of soil, I wouldn't really know. This soil is nice and crumbly, owing not just to the electro pillar, but the dedicated maintenance of the farmlands here. There are no glaring issues you can spot. Like, what are the qualities you need for soil to be considered good soil? Warm soil. Okay, interesting. Maybe this one's a little too hot. The soil is faintly warm to the touch. Okay, now it doesn't get a cracking sound from underground. Shalaki will want to hear about a cracking sound from underground. What? So, like, electricity is going under it? Or what? Is the soil being electrified? Can soil even... You know what, that is a stupid question. Don't answer. This is the field where you found the funny sound. Will not be. There it is. It sounds to me as though it's coming from deep underground. I'm impressed you caught it with those little ears of yours. Okay, my ears aren't exactly little as an Elzen, but in comparison to yours, maybe. So, should we start digging? Why do I get the feeling that there is a shelter or some sort of structure underneath this place? You know, this soil feels a little too warm. What is that smell? Mushrooms? Mushrooms? Ah, I found something. It's a box and some sort of measurement device? That's enough crackling you. Now let's see what's inside the box. Papers. Someone's report, it looks like. What's written here? To Shaloaki from UPA. Concerns about toxic exore infestation. Exore? Oh, is this a letter to one of her parents? UPA? The UPA? How does the farm founders know my name, and why would they pen me a letter? I write to you regarding my concerns for the future of this farm, as well as their potential solutions. This farm survives by the mercy of its technological support, but if the same crops are planted again and again over a sustained period of time, there's a chance the yields will weaken. Yeah, that's something that happens in real life too. I don't believe it. That's precisely the problem we're having, and I believe that's one of the reasons why crops are rotated around in farmlands with different yields. This is a brilliant discovery, Mika. I need to sit down and read everything that's written here. Will you go and tell Auntie Nakante about this? No, we haven't actually managed to talk about your issues, but I feel like this is a good start to opening you up a bit for any information. Let's head back to Nakante and get her view on the opinion. She probably has an idea that it's not written for this. You know what? I'm not sure. It might actually be written to her as she was younger, but it might also have been written to her parents. Ah, welcome back. That gleam in your eye tells me there's been progress. Where's Shallow? A letter with her name on it, buried in a box in the fields. Her eyes must be glued to the pages even now. Why is it turning blue all of a sudden? I wish I could offer you more details about UPA, but those memories must have been taken to the cloud. I'm sure it must seem very strange to you that we forget the dead. Even we struggled to come to terms with it at first. But we all came to the same conclusion. For the Turali citizens to make a life for ourselves out here, we would have to wear the regulators. All of us, even baby Shallow. At any rate, what matters is that you've managed to find a lead. Carry on with the investigation, dear, and do let me know how it goes. Okay. What she left behind? Shallow said she wanted to sit down to read, did she? In that case, I suspect she's at the control tower right about now. It's a facility that houses the town's electrical equipment. She's been haunting the place ever since she was a child. Anytime she needs to read something without distractions, like as not, you'll find her there. As for why she's taking the tower, I couldn't tell you. Anyway, I'll mark it on your map. Go and check her out, won't you? It seems that is my destination somehow. Also, yeah, why is it blue? Actually, what kind of weather effect is this? Umbral static, okay. I wonder, usually in the final few zones there's always something that spawns with the weather, right? I haven't checked what it is this time. Oh, hello Mika, perfect timing actually. I just finished reading over the report. Turns out UPA was a Shatona woman, and apparently she's also, well, we'll get to that later. But more importantly, this report details the major problems she foresaw impacting the farm decades down the line, which is to say right about now. It says here she buried this microbial colony counter with her findings so that the moment this particular problem started to manifest in the fields, the alarm would sound and draw someone's attention. That is some foresight for a farmer to actually create an alarm that sounds when their field is in trouble. Now, I wanted to ask, have you ever been to Yasulani Station? I have, but not before. The report has suggested a solution for a problem, but it requires a special device she apparently left all the way over at the station. On the way at the crumbling station, you mean? Before you say anything, don't worry, I won't be running headfirst into danger on my own again. That's assuming, of course, you would accompany me there. It would be my pleasure. Thanks, Mika. Make whatever preparations you need, then meet me at the Halo. I'll be waiting. Meet you at the Halo, and not at Yasulani train station. As odd as that music track is for town, you can't help but hum it. There we go, there she is. All set? Excellent. So about the problem with the farm. According to the report, the case of declining harvest is an infestation of exo-rays, a type of toxic slime mold, okay? With the electro pillars fertilizing the soil, everything in the ground stands to benefit, good or bad. That's why the farmhands weed the field so aggressively. But by hiding out of sight under the topsoil, the exo-rays have had free rein to draw vital nutrients away from the crops. The more they multiply, the smaller yields. So it's kind of like a bacterial infection. In short, if we're to say the crops will need to administer insect infestation, something to that effect, we'll need to exterminate the exo-rays. And to that, we'll need the device that's stored at the station. Are you with me? I'm following you so far. But what I don't understand is why UPA would store the report and the device in two separate locations. Wouldn't it have been easier to put them both in the box? Oh well, no point in wondering, I suppose. Shall we be off then? Onward and upwards. Oh, looks like we're walking back to... Oh, there's actually a lot of top points too. Fair enough, I'll walk with you. It's just funny that I could just ride my chocobo and get there tons faster, but still. So is that point up there, or is it down here? Oh, it's down here, thankfully. We didn't have to take the long way around. Shallow up here. You know what? I'll withdraw you for now. Take a break, buddy. Discuss Teshpiani village. Here we are at Teshpiani, where the stones howl. UPS report claims that both she and Auntie Nakante used to live here. Then the land changed so drastically that the entire village was all but flung into danger. That's when Queen's Bean turned up. After some discussion, it was decided that the villagers should take refuge in Everkeep. Well, most were content to stay there. Some grew to miss the feel of nature beneath their feet, and so they decided to resettle in the outskirts. Auntie and the others could be living in the high life in Solution 9 right now if they wanted, but instead they remained loyal to the land. The dusty old town means the world to me, Mika. I originally took on the role of engineer so I could help make life easier for everyone. If I'm going to be responsible for the farm, then it's up to me to solve its problems, whatever they may be. The station's coming up now, just over the hill to the southeast. I'm not in any hurry to cross the finish line though. Slow and steady wins the race just as well. What is your normal? In addition to all the detailed information about the Exor threat, UPA also wrote about how life here changed after the land fused. Some of it I'd heard from the town folks, but her writings weren't without their revelations. Some more shocking than others. I haven't quite wrapped my head around it all just yet. That's why I wanted to make the trip out here, to give myself time to let it all sink in. At any rate, I'm glad to have you with me. What's interesting to me is that the whole concept of getting rid of your memories when you die seems very central to the people who live here, but there's nothing actually stopping people from passing on things like journals or reports which tell the story of what happened here before. Discuss the decrepit buildings. Seems a downright waste to me. With a little elbow grease, these houses could be as good as new. But I suppose it's too far from the safety of Everkeep. You know, that reminds me. Apparently the Tanawakta and the Shatona used to be sworn enemies. Can you believe it? But then some king, Kulu something or the other. Okay, cool, Jaja. It's unfortunate that people did not know who you are over here, but mended the rift between the two peoples and they came to share the land peaceably. This all happened before Auntie was born, so who knows how many decades ago that was. Well, it's not decades because of reasons, but I don't think the general populace knows about the difference how time flows over here. Also, I kind of have to agree with what Chalaki said during the first discussion thing. You really tend to miss the feel of nature after a while when you live in concrete building-sized houses and cities. Kauhialo. Hello? You know what, I'm not gonna try. I'm not even gonna try. Discuss Everkeep. Oh, so this structure is Everkeep. Rather than this whole area beyond this. We come quite a ways now. Look at the view of Everkeep. When I was little, I attended school there with the other kids from the outskirts. That's where I learned all I needed to work as an electro engineer. UPA wrote in a report that she once took those same classes. She said the mysterious machines were a new frontier she couldn't help but want to explore. Then she used the knowledge she'd gained from her formal education to build up UPA's Halo. Curious as she was about technology, it seems nature was her true passion. When I think about all the love and care that went into the Halo, I'm not sure I have any business taking charge of it. We're nearly there now. Let's hurry and secure your base device. Fair enough. I feel like there's a bit of a connection with UPA here that you have that's a bit more than you realize. Discuss the railway. Truly a sight to behold, isn't it? I hope someday I get to see one of those huge train things running on it like the old days. I've always had my suspicions, but now that I'm seeing it in person, I think I've actually been here before. Back when I was younger. All my life I thought it was just a silly dream I had. I remember walking along the tracks hand in hand with some grown-up while they talked to me about the station that reminds me of. Now I think I might know who it was. So you think UPA is your parent? Can't deny that possibility. Here we are at Yasulani Station, quite the trekking. Before the land fused, people flocked here in droves. But these days, well, no need to state the obvious, I suppose. Now to retrieve UPA's device. I think she said it was in this building here. Storage cupboard, bottom shelf at the very back. I guess we found it successfully. Here we are. Apparently this special transformer has already been into the farm's pillars. It should force the extra rays out into the open. Do you remember what I told you before about how the pillars convert the power of lightning into nutrients to help the soil, and the X-rays in turn steal those nutrients for themselves? This device will halt the conversion, funneling a massive energy current straight into the ground. In one fell swoop, the beasts will be deprived of their food source and given a nasty shock besides. To escape these shocks, they will have no choice but to form fruiting bodies and burrow to the surface. That's when we strike. Or at least that was UPA's plan anyway. Isn't she incredible? She realized our soil was at risk of attracting fungi. So it's not a bacterial function, but a fungus, okay? So she planned out a detailed countermeasure decades in advance. I can softly believe someone as middling as me could have a mother so brilliant. Oh, so UPA was your mother, okay? But see, the thing is, you actually thought of the future too when you started investigating all this. How long have you known? I found some sort of official document together with the rest of the report. It states that upon UPA's death, her daughter was to be given full control of the farm once she reached adulthood. Now we've come of age, I've been put in charge of the farm. What else am I to think but that she must be my mother? It feels like something from a storybook. The tale of a humble villager who was, in truth, the descendant of a great hero. But UPA is no work of fiction. She was real, and she walked these lands just as I do now. When I was first reassigned to UPA's Hollow, I thought there must have been some mistake. Why me when there were surely countless others more capable? I still haven't found my answer yet, but if one thing's for certain, it's this. I won't let her legacy wither and die on my watch. Her legacy. At least now, we've got a tentative solution for the farm's exo-ray infestation. Let's head back to the outskirts and set about putting UPA's plan into motion. You know something? I think I've come to understand why she hid the device all the way out here. I think maybe now that I'm a woman grown, she wanted me to see what's become of the life we once had. Just a theory, mind. I feel like that's a good theory, all things considered. Yeah, let's head back. Account here. Shallow tells me the investigation has made great progress, owing in no small part to you. I'm guessing there's one more quest for this. After that long walk, I'm sure you must be as tired as I am. We'll enact our extermination plan soon enough, but for now let's both take a moment to rest. Oh, and thanks for walking with me. I'll see you when you get back. Oh, I already have fruit and aloe jelly, so might as well get this. Desert Walker's equestrian robe. All that she carried. Perfect time, Mika. I just finished explaining everything to Auntie here. You know, I always wondered why the government would reassign you to UPA's Hollow. I never imagined you were the founder's daughter. Honestly, I think they would have been better served choosing someone who was there from the beginning. Someone like you, Auntie. I don't even remember my mother, and yet it's because of her that I was promoted to head of the Halo. I may not be qualified to solve all of the farm's problems, but I can at least solve this one. Mika, it's about time we evicted those unwanted tenants. Once you're ready to get your hands dirty, meet me at the control tower. There's one last thing I think we'll need. Oh, for heaven's sake. Here I thought she was worried about something serious. If anything, we were relieved that the local was chosen for the role. Sure, she may be inexperienced, but we all know she's got a good head on her shoulders. She'll go into it in time. I understand this whole ordeal has been a lot of trouble, Mika, but I want you to know how much I appreciate all of it. Now, I hope you'll forgive a little worrying on my part, but you do realize fructified exo-rays are essentially mushroom monsters, yes? No, I did not, but okay. They're more troublesome than they look, so please be careful. I have received your warning on fructified exo-rays, and I take it to heart. But where am I going? Do I actually need to go up there? Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. but I can't fly. So there seems to be something southwest. Oh yeah, this one is actually past the wall. I think I checked this. Oh, Sherlock is actually back here, I think. Sherlock, there you are. Are you ready, Mika? As soon as I integrate this transformer into the control tower circuitry, the electro pillars are going to send lightning straight into the ground. Your job will be to survey the eastern and western fields and stamp out any fungal fiends that sprout up. Take this communicator and await my signal. Our plan begins as soon as you get into position at the farm. Like we have like 3 locations to check. I'm guessing that's 3 areas of the farm. Testing. Mika, can you hear me? The transformer is connected and on standby. As soon as I activate it, the X-rays are going to come crawling up at full speed. There's no telling how many we ought to expect, so be on your guard. Oh, it's you guys. I am slightly disappointed. No, I guess I shouldn't have put my... You know what, never mind. I was thinking of the mushroom monsters or the basket weaves in Ilmeg. Or maybe the mushroom mobs in Dark Souls. The one that come out and punches you in the face. Somehow I wasn't expecting little mushroom critters. The next harvest approaching at best ready to store us. Yeah, will lead you to your musing, good man. Right, next batch. Mika, how'd it go out there? Are you hurt? How many were there anyway? There's only 3. Wow, you're incredible. You don't even sound out of breath. Well, if you're ready for round 2, I'll reroute the transformer to the fields on the other side. Once you're all done, meet me near the bridge. Alright, that ought to be it. Bit of a long quest, but they usually give a quest chain like this when something significant's about to happen, right? Goodness me, that was quite impressive for someone without a regulator. Are you a watcher? I really owe you one, Mika. With any luck, the exo-rays should be well and truly exterminated. There's now the matter of changing the soil, of course, and taking measures to prevent future infestation, but thanks to you, the Halo is on the road to recovery. Shallow, dear, do you still have misgivings about your reassignment? None of us are upset by the idea of you taking charge of the Halo. The only thing that matters is how you feel about taking up the position. This isn't the life you want. It's not too late to change your mind, you know. I think she's fine here now. Thanks, Auntie, but I think I'll be just fine. It's always been my dream to give back to the community that raised me. The way I see it, I'd just been given a more direct opportunity to do so. I only needed a little time to come to terms with it, is all. When I was walking to Yashalani Station with Mika, I remembered that I used to make the same trip with someone else. Yupie, probably. I think she used to tell me stories of her homeland. She built this farm so that our people could survive in the outskirts, but I don't think that was ever her dream. Deep down, I think what she wanted more than anything was to rebuild Teshpiani and the station. You know what, I'm not even sure what that's called either. And I'm pretty sure someone in the MSQ mentioned that name. It's a dream I'd like to see realized, and it can't be done if I'm content to stay here on the outskirts. I don't know for sure what my next steps will be, but I have a lot of ideas. Oh dear. Should the coin keeper be concerned, I wonder? Now then, Mika, if it weren't for you, we may have never gotten to the bottom of this mystery. At the risk of repeating myself, thank you for helping, and for caring. You've helped us more than you'll ever know. And I actually really enjoyed a little trip to the station. Next time I have business out there, you better clear your schedule. Sure, it's fine with me. Next time. I don't think anyone in the FF fanbase will say no to a cute weirdo. And with that, we're actually finally done with the side quests. So let me shift back to the Paladin and get us back on track to MSQ. So let me just ping the southwest. Nope, that's not the one. That one is on top of whatever is on this side of the canyon, which I am assuming is Solution 9. Well, what does Lamati wish to discuss, I wonder? To think that everyone has lived here for 30 years, long enough to become accustomed to the way of life. I understand the argument that we should keep an open mind if this practice is integral to their culture, but every fiber of my being rails against it. It is well that we should see firsthand how regulators are used to draw upon even the souls of fiends. I shudder to imagine how powerful Zoral Jar could become. Oh, sorry. I need to talk to you, Graf. I'm sorry for delaying us, but I've some thoughts I need to share. In both technology and values, it's plain there's a wide gulf between Tuliolal and Alexandria. And while Zoralja knows not everything about us, we know hardly anything about what he's become. Indeed, we haven't even seen what lies within that enormous tower, Everkeep. So here I'd like to make a proposal. That is, we work with Kakia and her people. We need to learn as much as we can about the enemy. The quickest way would be to join hands with Oblivion. We've only just met them, I know, and we shouldn't be too quick to trust, but the fact remains that they share our desire to stop Zoraljar. Speen, too, claims to be at odds with the King of Rizal. May I ask why you would cooperate with Oblivion instead? Cooperate? It's simple, really. Their leader is Arenville's mother. Meanwhile, whatever Speen may feel, she's a ruler of this nation. There's a greater risk in working with her, and less reason to take her at her word. A fair point. And knowing Zoraljar, we must assume that his arrangement with Speen was not made without some consideration. All I know is that it would be heartening to have allies in this strange realm. I think everyone would agree that any help we can get would be welcome. Hold on. There's no guarantee that it's actually my mother behind the machine. Without seeing her in the flesh, we can't rule out the possibility of a ploy. If it turns out to be a trap, we endanger not only ourselves but everyone in Tuluula. As you say, we have no proof that it really is Kakia, but I make my proposal in full awareness of this. Whether we are going to war or striving for peace, we need to learn as much as we can, otherwise we can't hope to do anything meaningful. As it stands, we know too little about this realm. We need to remedy that. We need to study the enemy, and when the time comes, strike down Zeraljar for good and all. What's more, I trust you, Arundel. You've always had great instincts, honed from your time training under your mother. What if I'm wrong? What if sentiment is clouding my judgment? Miss Traveler, I trust you as well, Arundel. Although the way I'm saying it might have been actually most weird to say the first line. That's always the way of it with you. Fine. If you're set on this, then I'll say no more. Well, I'm helping it. Then it's settled. Let's head inside and secure ourselves some new allies. Oh, they all just disappeared from there. Interesting. Earthen Sky. Why call it Earthen Sky? 605 yards to the southwest, nowhere near here. Is Well, I'm all for dealing with the Zeraljar. We need to consider how our actions may affect ordinary Alexandrians. They're not the enemy after all. I agree with Lamont. It's a gamble regardless of whether or not we choose to work with the people here, and more knowledge is better than less. Wayakwe? Oh, hello again. You said that the first time. The wildlife can be very dangerous out there. You need to take care if you don't wear a regulator. You understand how regulators work now, I trust. It's one of those things that's best seen in action. The Wolf resolve is possessed of conviction and flexibility both. If the tales are true, she learned much in the course of the Rite of Succession. Yeah, in some ways, Vuklamat feels like a completely different character in this arc. I am unaccustomed to seeing her make decisions like a ruler. Better that than her former vacillating self, though. Suppose that's true. With the resources at their disposal, I'm hopeful that Kakia and her people will make great allies. Kakia, there's something I need to tell you and your people. We came here for no other reason than to strike down Zeraljar. But I thought he was your brother. Do you really mean to kill your own kin? My kin invaded our nation and murdered our people. As vow of resolve, it falls to me to bring him to account. I am prepared to do what I must, and I won't hesitate when the time comes. Like us, you and yours oppose Zeraljar. In light of this, I propose that we work together to stop him once and for all. I love how the little bot has referred emotes. I realize that this is sudden. That is a gamble to trust someone you've only just met. but I would trust in the conviction of anyone who shares my goal, so fight with me, I beg you. As you say, our goals align, and I don't doubt your resolve in the least. If you hadn't proposed working together, I would have done so instead. Truth be told, it's been tough going at it alone. But we gathered ample intelligence, we don't have the strength to take decisive action. And we're the blade to your brawn. Besides, how could we not trust you? My only son is with you, my fussy little bum button. One button, oh god, I crack myself up every time I read this. He's all the reason I need. And it's decided. Here's to a fruitful collaboration. Thank you, Kakia. Everyone, together we'll achieve great things. I'm sure of it. Then let's not waste any time. We've been wondering about Zorolja's whereabouts. Is there a palace inside that tower? After a fashion, the king resides in the uppermost level, but while Queen Speen had a penchant for going out in public, he seldom shows himself. What's more, his movements are highly classified. Not even his commanders are privy to that information. If anyone knows where he is at any given time, it could only be the Queen. Even if we don't know his whereabouts, Zorolja will eventually march on to Leolal again. That's when we can go after him. The drawback is we'll have to wait for the invasion to happen. Innocent will be put in harm's way. There's also a possibility that he'll leave everything to his minions and not command the army in person. No, he'll take the field. Oh wait, it's Lamont is talking. What makes you so certain? My brother has always yearned to surpass our father. That's why he attacked Leolal. After waiting for 30 years, the first thing he wanted to do was demonstrate his newfound strength. But killing Papa didn't satisfy him, so now he's bent on proving himself stronger than me and Koana, who bested him in the right of succession. He challenged me to strike him down. He wants a duel to show everyone that he's superior to the Dawn Servant, and he won't let his minions deprive him of the pleasure. And then, why hasn't he appeared and given you your chance? Surely he's aware of our presence here. At that, I can only guess. Perhaps he wants to dazzle us with his wondrous realm, but if he won't deign to appear, then we'll force him to do so. Oh, so. Even as we gather intelligence, we make no move to attack him. Show absolutely no interest in a confrontation. Knowing him, he'll tire of fighting and turn his attention to Koana instead. He'll attack Leolal again like he said he would. I see. If you believe this is the best approach, then we have no objections. Any campaign against Leolal requires that Zorolja lead his forces through vanguard. We'll have lookouts keep an eye on it day and night. Such a strategy is certainly viable. If you're proceeding with it, though, we should warn those outside. Indeed, they'll need time to prepare their defenses. I should be glad to coordinate our efforts. I'm already in regular contact with the Shtola, and we'll make sure to keep our comrades apprised of developments. You can leave Vanguard to us. We'll send word at the first sign of movement. It seems we have a plan. While we wait for Zorolja to move, we'll do well to prepare for battle. And it begins with familiarizing yourself with the technology that empowers him. To that end, I'll show you to Oblivion's main headquarters. Oh? I thought this place was it. You'll be impressed to know that we're located right inside that tower. In the residential district of Solution 9. We're finally getting to enter Solution 9. Nope, sorry, wrong one. Hiding a tree in the forest, as it were. The only question is how to get you through the checkpoint. About that, Spin said that she'd make it so we could enter without issue. We did? Curious, she's not supposed to have such authority over the sentries. If I recall her correctly, her words were that she would register us as guests. I see. Perhaps they're in the clear then. When you're ready, come and meet me at the tower entrance. Although I get the feeling you're gonna inundate me with some side quest first. Before you head out, give us a moment to introduce ourselves properly, eh? After all, names are good to know when working together. You know, they kind of know your names. You're like Geode, Nostalgia, and Wayakwe. Well, the intelligence that Kakwa and her people possesses will be very useful in our efforts. If it isn't their main headquarters, I can't imagine what the actual place is like. It's eerie hearing my mother's voice from that peculiar machine. Between making new friends and entering the tower, I can't help but feel a little excited. Is it just me, or are Arenville and Kakwa complete opposites in personality? They are indeed. And if you have a very open parent, most likely the children end up being very withdrawn. Nostalgia? If Kakwa trusts you, then so do we. Wayakwe. Nice to meet you. Well, Oblivion has operatives all over. We are the main crew here. I am Geode, the leader of this hideout. And the dependable young twins behind me are Nostalgia and Wayakwe. I'm Nostalgia. It's a pleasure to meet you. My sister and I were born and raised inside the barrier. We've been with Oblivion for 3 years, and our main duties are surveillance and provisioning. Twins, eh? That explains the resemblance. Wayakwe is a Tonawatam name, unless I'm mistaken. That's right. Our mother is Tuliolan, and our father is Alexandrian. They wanted to honor both cultures. They're beautiful names. Thank you. Though I have no memories of my mother, I'd like to think I carry a part of her with me. So, what made you decide to join Oblivion? We wanted to avenge our father. Dark business this. Ambrose was his name, and years ago he was taken away after a scuffle with a soldier over a disagreement. It was a minor incident, so at first we come to the hope that he'd be released. But when months went by with no word from him or about him, we made the decision to remove our regulators. We had already lost the memories of our mother, but we didn't want to lose those of our father as well. They've all forgotten about him now, everyone who had known him. That bastard. Even here, he thinks nothing of his own people. Sometime later, we were approached by a member of Oblivion. Hoping to get justice for our father, we joined the order. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to darken the mood. Well, you kinda did. No, I appreciate you sharing this. Together, we'll avenge your father. Thank you. Something tells me you have what it takes. You introduce yourself too. Go on. It's pretty much the same story for me. And while mine is a Tonawaftan name, I haven't the faintest how things are outside the barrier. It's my dream to go and see it with my own eyes, our mother's homeland. Once this is restored, you must come and visit. The wilds are beautiful, the food delicious, and everyone's so nice. We love it. And that's us here. You'll meet others in the back room. That's our headquarters. Some of them are a little eccentric, but they have good hearts all. Oh, and Alnashpia, one last thing. It isn't exactly my place to say this, but thank you for seeking out Kakwa. She talks about you so much, it's clear how important you are to her. That's all. Be good to your mother while you still can, eh? Well, we'll let you go now. Feel free to use this hideout as you like. And by feel free, you mean side quest to help everyone here. Oh wait, are we taking a look at where Zorolja is? Or maybe Koana? Okay, if it's Everkeep, it's Zorolja, right? Or maybe Speed. Or maybe both.
You've been consorting with Wook Lamont. No matter. I do not know what you are scheming. But when your realm lay on the brink, you were powerless. You had no choice but to turn to me. Whatever sentiment you may feel for her, it is my power you require, is it not?
Perhaps. And yet, knowing the love that Wook Lamont bears for her people, how she regards them all as kin, I cannot help but wish to spare her the same pain I have suffered. What's more, her friends possess new knowledge. Were we to work together, we might find another path. I know you're loath to consider it, but is there no hope for peace with Tuliyola? What we've already done may be unforgivable, but it needn't continue. You needn't kill your brother and sister.
I slew my only flesh and blood. Yet you attempt to sway me with an appeal to family.
The memory of my father's final moments still fills me with disappointment. Age came for him before I did. For long years, I sought to prove the miracle. And weak as he was, defeating him achieved nothing. To kill them is my only recourse. Wook Lamont and Kona, who bested him as he was in his prime.
They are still your siblings, even if not by blood. That such bonds should mean so little to you.
I am bound to no one. Serve none save myself. I made that clear when first you spoke to me in the Golden City. Remember, I can easily kill your beloved family. If you would protect them, cast aside any foolish notions. Your wisdom and abilities are valuable insofar as our goals align. So think well before you act, Queen of Reason. Wook Lamont, if you are father's worthy successor, then you will find your way to me. But should you fall short, I will lay waste to Tuliyola.
What now?
I'll be honest, even though we're seeing this, I'm actually still kind of suspicious of Sveen. So what's wrong with the quality? I feel like my network connection's kind of going weird over here, so sure why it's fumbling. Maybe because, you know, I hope it's not because I didn't say anything and it timed out or something. It seems stable now. They say the sky outside the barrier is truly beautiful. I'd love to see it one day. My sister is something of an introvert, so I take it on myself to watch over her. By the same token, though, she's extremely cautious and observant. That makes her great at reconnaissance. Oh, it's still dropping, eh? You know what, guys? Just give me 1 second while I pause the stream and restart the stream again. And hope... Oh, you know what? Let me just take a 10-minute break. And then I'll continue on. And hopefully this... I'm not sure if it's getting to you all, but assuming that we're not dropping too much frames, maybe it will fix itself if I restarted the stream. So I'll catch you guys in like another 5 or so minutes. I'll be back real quick.